A small wind farm might soon be built on Porteous Hill near Waitati. The Blueskin Resilient Communities Trust has set up a company for the scheme, and project manager Scott Willis joins us to talk about it. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening.
This is quite an exciting idea. What's the wind farm going to be used for?
Well, firstly, it's going to be used for local renewable electricity generation. So that's the straightforward answer, but the other answer is that it's a community support activity which will give us long-term income to help us continue our climate change work and be a beacon for other communities who want to make a difference.
How big will it be?
Small wind farm. It's going to be scaled to the landscape and to the community. There will be 3 turbines of between 800 and 900 kilowatt capacity each, but it's also the most significant renewable electricity generation project since the Waipori power station in 1907.
What is the motivation behind a wind farm?
Well, in 2006 there were floods in Dunedin and they particularly hit Blueskin, so we realised that climate change was here, peak oil was happening, and economic volatility was associated with both. So we decided that we needed to take charge, engage in projects that would help build community resilience. So that's really where it came from.
Have you got a site picked out?
We've got a site picked out. It's on Porteous Hill. It's a great site. It's got it's close to our settlements. It's visible, which is what most people want. It's got transmission nearby. It's got a great road all the way to it, and of course it's got wind. So we need wind.
Landowners are supporting it. What about the people around it?
Well, the landowners love it, of course, because they can keep farming and it gives them some income, and it's got community benefit, and it's local electricity. People around it, we know that there's strong support. It's been underway since 2009. All our surveys and community engagement, it's the longest front-end loading of any renewable power station or power generation asset in New Zealand. No one's quite done that amount of front-end work that we've done before. However, we know that we'll pick up some opposition, and somebody has to complain about something.
How much is it expected to cost?
Well, it's 5 to 6 million, so it's not cheap. But the other side of that is that it's unlike a coal-fired power station or a gas power station. The fuel is free once it's up and running, so it's an achievable price.
When do you hope it will be operating?
All going well, and we anticipate that, not even if all going well, we think blade should be spinning at the start of 2017. Timeline will be dictated to some extent by the resource consent process, but generally we've got capacity to get it running by 2017, early 2017.
Who's funding this?
At the moment we're funded primarily out of donations, community grants and early stage investment, but once the resource consent is through, we'll be seeking wider investment in the project, and we'll be using Pledge Me or equity crowdfunding as an important funding tool to ensure we've got community ownership as well as trust ownership of it.
Are you trying to fundraise the entire $5 to $6 million, or?
Some of it will be debt,
Yeah.
but we don't anticipate that the capital raising is going to be a challenge.
Okay. Who will you be selling the electricity to?
So we have a number of options. Because it's embedded generation, it doesn't enter into the national grid, but it will pass through a market participant. So the option that we're looking for is the simplest and most efficient, and we're talking with somebody who sees the benefit of buying local, who wants to reduce their emissions and can see the benefit of being associated with a community project like this and a New Zealand first.
Now in time it may well turn a nice healthy profit. How will those profits be used?
Profits, the Trust is aiming to use profits to continue its climate change work. So we'll invest in such projects as subsidised insulation, solar installations to reduce household emissions, to work on managed retreat for housing in high hazard zones as sea level rises, and expand our cosy homes work. So those are the things that we'll the examples we'll be investing in, but really everything we can do to build community resilience in the face of the challenges we're facing.
Project Manager Scott Willis, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.